All right, guys, in this video we're going to talk about my five favorite foods that I like to include in like my healing protocol when it comes to Crohn's, colitis, any sort of colon issues, or any SIBO or small intestinal issues, leaky gut. These are my favorite foods for healing these conditions. And now, before I get into these foods, I want to make something very clear. These foods will never fix your gut issues. They help support the healing process. And what gets you into the healing process are, this is not going to make any sense for a lot of you, but what causes your gut disease is a conflict shock. This is a stressful situation that keeps you catches you off guard, and you experience it as an indigestible morsel conflict. And so when you have this conflict shock, your body is helping you get through this stressful situation by building more gut cells to help you digest this indigestible morsel. And when the conflict gets resolved, your body no longer needs these gut cells, so it starts to get rid of them. It starts to get rid of them because it doesn't need them anymore. And people get stuck in this healing phase. And the reason why people get stuck on these healing phases is they keep encountering tracks. And what a lot of people do is when they go on these religious, boring, bland diets, they create food tracks where when they encounter a food like dairy or gluten, they reactivate the conflict and they just get stuck in this vicious cycle. So I know a lot of you might think I'm crazy for this statement, but when I started using German New Medicine and my students started using German New Medicine, our food intolerances disappeared like literally overnight. It is super easy to do and practice on yourself. But when you're going through the healing phase, there's a lot of tissue breakdown and repair and renewal, and these foods will help your body get through that process quicker and more efficiently. And these are like the most nutrient dense and easy to digest foods that are out there. Maybe not most nutrient dense, some of these, but they're good foods to eat while you're in the healing phase. So let's get started with the first one. And if that did not make sense and you want to learn more about German New Medicine, you need to learn more about German New Medicine. If you click on the cards up here, there will be a link to a bunch of videos that go over what I just talked about. So the first food is raw dairy. Raw dairy products. What is a raw dairy? So these are dairy products that have not been pasteurized. Oh, but won't that make you sick? Okay, guys, seriously, you need to relax. Raw dairy is very easy to digest. It pretty much digests itself. It's packed full of every single nutrient you need to thrive. And it's just very easy to digest. It's very tasty. It doesn't require any cooking. A lot of you guys are going to argue that, oh, I'm dairy intolerant. I can't digest the easiest to digest food in the world. And this is because it's a food track. This is because you were told at a very young age. I remember I was, in middle school, that's when I started to get my acne, and I was told, or if I was gassy, I was always told that, oh, it's because of dairy, it's because of dairy, it's because of dairy. And it just makes zero sense. You are not allergic to energy and nutrients. You can eat these foods. And if you eat these foods and you react to them, it's because it's a tract. It's linked, and tracks are the best way to describe a track is if you've ever seen a dog who's been hit with a newspaper, they're scared to death of the newspaper. They see a newspaper and they're like, you open up the newspaper and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So that newspaper reminds the dog of that conflict shock. When you see raw dairy, it reminds your subconscious of this stressful event. and you get the diarrhea or whatever symptoms it might be tied to. So that's kind of what a track is. But raw dairy is, raw milk, raw cheeses, making your own yogurts, making your own kefir, Rajanka. There's so many different types of dairy products, and they're all delicious. They're all super easy to make and prepare. Depending on what government you live in, it might be a little bit hard. It might be easier to get cocaine than it is to get raw dairy, but I highly recommend raw dairy, and even pasteurized dairy. I know that a lot of you are going to yell at me for this, but pasteurized dairy can be, I would recommend fermented pasteurized dairy, but pasteurized milk is still a very easy to digest and a very nourishing food. Raw milk is much better, but still pasteurized milk is still not that bad of a food. The second one is liver. Maybe not the most tasty food, but definitely the most nourishing food on the planet. Liver is packed with vitamin A, D, E, K, K2, D, E. Just packed with nutrients. If you do not like to eat liver, I understand. I don't like liver either. So what I like to do is I make liver meatballs. So I mix the liver, I grind the liver into, I make meatballs. It's like 25% liver and 75% ground beef or something like that. You could do liver pate. Chicken livers taste pretty good. So those are some easy ways to get liver into your diet. And if all else fails, you can buy canned cod liver. That's really easy. They're really cheap and require zero cooking. And not too bad. If you like fish, then you would enjoy that. And you could always take organ capsules. Those are good. All right. And now we have, this one is fish roe. Or fish eggs. Now, I'm not a big fan of seafood. I don't eat any seafood, but fish eggs are very tasty. They're very, very versatile. The way I like to eat these is I get a rice cake, those fluffy rice cakes, and I put cream cheese on it, and then I put fish eggs on it, and boy, it's delicious. And I'm going to get to my whole starch thing because I know keto is a big thing right now. I'm going to explain starch in this next one. So fish eggs is really good. Weston A. Price saw many healthy populations eating tons of fish eggs. They're an amazing food, packed with omegas and all. It's just packed with nutrients. It's very, very good food. Number 4 is white rice. Now, I do recommend brown rice if it's prepared correctly, if you soaked it overnight and gave it a good cooking, like you pressure cook it. But I really like white rice, especially for people coming from keto and carnivore, because it's a good way to start bringing starches back into your diet. It's very versatile. You can, very easy to cook, very fast to cook, very easy on your gut. And yeah, so your body needs starch. Glucose is the main fuel source on planet Earth. Sorry, keto community. Only advanced organisms can utilize fat. All organisms on Earth can utilize glucose. Your brain needs glucose to run. If your body doesn't have glucose, it's like breaking down protein to make glucose. You need glucose. You need starch. Oh, it's not healthy for you. Guys, the healthiest people in the world, the bodybuilders and stuff like that, they're shoveling white rice into their mouth 24/7, 7 times a day. So again, it's not the most nourishing food in the world, but if you're eating your liver and you're having raw dairy and eating fish roe and other things like that, you're more than making up for the nutrients that get taken out during the refinement process. So I highly recommend white rice. It's a very good starch to bring back into your diet, especially if you've been on keto diets for a very long time. And then the last one is meat stock. And I kind of want to make this protein. I want to say like protein in general, but meat stock is a good source of easy to digest amino acids and protein. So meat stock gets confused with bone broth. Meat stock is gelatinous when you put it in the fridge and you take it out. When it's cold, it's gelatinous, and that's a sign that there's a lot of proteins in there. Bone broth, when you take it out of the fridge, is not gelatinous. It's so, you know, when we're in the healing phase, when our body is breaking down tissue and rebuilding tissue, our body is going through a lot of protein, so we need protein. The way you make meat stock is you take like bones with a lot of meat and connective tissue on them, and you simmer them for, you know, anywhere from like 1 to 3 hours. Bone broth is when you take bones with not a lot of meat on them and you boil them for like 24 hours, or you simmer them for like 24 hours. So there's a big difference, because, you know, we're trying to extract the protein from like the meat and the connective tissue, whereas bone broth is you're trying to like pull the minerals from the bones. We're trying to get at, you know, meat stock does have minerals in it, but we're really trying to get at the protein. You could also make healthy Jell-O, where you just substitute, you know, instead of making it out of the package, you use fruit juice instead. I really like whey powders. Whey is like the easiest source of protein to digest, and meat is always good. So, but meat stock is good as well. So these are my top 5 foods for healing your gut. And remember, you cannot heal your gut just by eating these foods. There are some mental things you got to go through, and it's actually very easy. You can do it from your couch. And if you want step-by-step instruction on how to do this, and like have me and my staff like hold your hand through this process, we have something called the Rapid Gut Cell Regeneration Protocol, or program. And this involves video courses where I explain German new medicine in very easy to understand terms. So you will get this understand it very quickly. Like literally, guys, you can sit on the couch and watch these videos and see amazing results in days. Like when people start using German new medicine, like all of their food intolerances can like disappear in like a week's time. You can get better. You can eat cake on your birthday again. You can go out with your friends and eat pizza. You know, you can go out with your coworkers and grab a drink after work. You know, you don't have to be stuck in this nightmare anymore, but you gotta understand the root cause. And German new medicine makes it crystal clear that the root cause of gut disease, what keeps gut disease on, is in the brain. All of you that have some sort of gut issues, you're going to have a ring-shaped formation on your CT scans, on your brain scans, in very specific locations depending on which digestive organ is affected. And until those rings go away, until those biological special programs get shut off, and I want to show you how to shut these things off, it's going to stay on, and you're just going to be flushing all this expensive food down the toilet and stinking up your house and ruining first dates and stuff, like all that fun stuff. And it's not fun. It's not fun, but I want to show you how to fix it. And my Rapid Gut Cell Regeneration program, it is $497 right now. We're going to raise that price up to $1,000 once we hit a certain number of students, so that our coaches have enough bandwidth to serve everybody. And it comes with a Facebook group where myself and my coaches will answer all of your questions. We do live Q&As twice a week. You also get a protocol workbook where it goes through step by step. It has cheat sheets and all sorts of things. And we do 100% money back guarantee if you do not get the results that you desire. So, yeah, guys, I invite you to hang out and watch all my other YouTube videos, but the course is just for people who are very serious about healing their gut, but there is a ton of awesome free information on how to heal your gut. You can literally do it from your sofa, or just changing the, identifying. It's, for most of you, it's about identifying and neutralizing tracks. Some of you are going to have to resolve conflicts, and tracks are almost kind of like mini conflicts. And yeah, guys, it's really that simple. But let me know down in the comments. Help me out. Hit that like button, and in the comments, let me know what traumatic events caused your gut symptoms to start up. And yeah, guys, that's all I got to say about this. I know it's like, shouldn't be a 20-minute video on what 5 foods you should eat, but it's really important. The reason why I'm doing this is because food is not the root cause. I used to believe this, and a lot of my old videos say this, but food is not the root cause. It is this conflict shock that turned on this program, and the program stays on because we keep encountering tracks. That's where the majority of your symptoms are coming from. And again, if that doesn't make sense, click up here, and I have German new medicine videos for you to watch, and it will explain all this. You're gonna have to watch them a few times because it's so different. It's so different. It's like nothing you've ever seen, but it really works. See you guys later. Bye bye.